Hi, welcome to a warm, breezy afternoon in Chesterfield. Today, one of the things we're going to look at is the Bakki shower again, but more importantly, we're going to have a look at the pre-filter I have on the pond, which is the 3-stage 20-inch Dechlorinator from VYAIR. My water comes from Severn Trent and it has a higher than normal concentration of chlorine and other minerals in there, so I use a different type of filter, pre-filter, to clear up any minerals or any chemicals that are added to the water. No matter what anybody tells you, chlorine is not good for fish. It's something that the authorities add to the water to make it drinkable for ourselves, and in doing so it's not very good for koi. It's harmful is the best expression. We'll check the levels of chlorine in the water before and after they change the filters so you can see what sort of difference it makes. I'll show you the filters I use and I'll show you how we install them. Come here, you. Come here. This is Preston, my youngest, and he's got something he wants to add to the video.
Leave the like on the video.
And
subscribe.
Where's the subscribe button?
Down below.
Thanks a lot. Sit back and enjoy. Just to remind anybody that don't already know, but the white pipe at the bottom, which is connected to the house mains, but I've got a meter in between so I know what water I'm using down here, goes through a valve there to regulate it to it's slowly going through the filter. It's around 2 litres a minute. Just goes up there into the 3-stage 20-inch VYAIR unit and then into the auto top-up system. I've got a valve that comes off there that I use for cleaning the filter out as such, but again it's very slow flow rate. So I've taken some water from there to sample, which is post the filter. That is a total chlorine pre-filter and that says 0.11 milligrams per litre. And that is the free chlorine pre-filter straight from the mains at 0.06 milligrams per litre. This is total chlorine after the filter, as you can see it's 0.09 milligrams, which is not too much difference to what it was before the filter. So that just confirms that the filters have passed the best and we need to change them. And post filter for the free chlorine is 0.02, so that just backs up what the total chlorine says. What I've got here are the 20-inch standards that come with the VYAIR filter, and you get a GAC cartridge filter, you get the CTO carbon filter, and then you get the, I think it's the 5 micron pre-filter. So we're not going to use those. So after speaking with the technical guys at VYAIR and looking at the pre-filter chlorine levels etc and the post-chlorine levels, this is what they've recommended. So we've got some carbon wrap filter CWC series, we have some coconut shell activated carbon cartridge, and what we have is a coconut shell carbon black. You pay a little bit more for these filters compared to them, but these will reduce a lot more chlorine through the system. So what we're going to do is undo that lot, replace them for those, and then clean out the carbon, flush it for a bit first, and then do some fresh readings. I'm working from the first filter, which is on the right, which is the first filter, which is the pre-filter. I've undone it. Just always remember to put the top seal back on, and I've got the spacers on to help centralise it, which I can't get out. There we go. So you can see the state of that. Yes, I see the slime on there as well, so we'll give that a rinse. Give that a rinse, Preston. Just clean. Check this out. And a few fines that are in there. So we'll put the new filter in, line it up, and I'll just click back on before I screw it in. Sorry about the light and the shading here. So we put the spacer back in, we put the new cartridge in, and we put the washer on the top flat. So we're going to screw it up, put it into place. What some people recommend, and I'm going to get a bin, you can see a bit of leftovers there, there's a bit of Vaseline just on the seal. Second filter, exact same sort of scenario, little seal on the top, spacer again, and let's see what's in the bottom of that one. It's not so bad. And again, still got some Vaseline. Got some Vaseline around the seal. Reuse the spacer, and on the new one, it's got a built-in spacer and the same filter again. So again, put the spacer on to keep it central, put some Vaseline around the O-ring, put a new cartridge in, and we'll refit it. And that's the third one off, which again has a filter on, has a spacer on, sorry. Bit of sediment in the bottom. So we remove the spacer, put on the new filter and fit that. Last but not least, spacer, bit of Vaseline spread everywhere, new filter. So I'm going to put that in place, nip them up, and then I'm going to flush 20-30 litres maybe out of there, and we'll have a look as it's coming out and you'll see the carbon that you have to flush out. So we're going to hear a few gurgles and bubbles and it spit and that such. We also, as we're filling this up, we need to make sure that we just take the air out of the top of these three. So that's filling the canisters up at the moment. We've got a bit of air in that one. Yep, that's coming through. Let's smell that one until we get the air out and water coming through there. Bearing in mind, I'm still at 2 litres per minute pressure wise, flow wise, so it may take a while to fill up. Yeah, gurgling and bubbling. We'll close that off so there's no water going into the pond as of yet. There we go, we've got water coming out of the third canister. So shortly, there we go, we should have some water coming out of there. And you can see straight away, that's the carbon, that's the loose carbon around the filters. So that's why you have to flush it off for about 10, 20, I don't know, 30 litres or whatever, until it starts to run clear. So I'll let that run for a bit, empty it out and then try it again. Yeah, so it's going for about 10 litres and you can say it's very carbon-like, very dirty. Oh. It's the second lot of 10 litres. So I'll run a third one off and then I think I'll do some testing on the water. So that's now cleared, 3 buckets, now cleared. I'm going to test it on the Anna and see what the chlorine total is at the moment. Total chlorine is 0.00, which is 0. If total chlorine is 0, then free's got to be 0. But we'll test that just in case. Thankfully, after all that, the free chlorine is 0.00 milligrams per litre too. So that's a success on the chlorine dechlorinator. Thanks a lot for watching the video. As you noticed, I've not got around to doing the Bakki shower, but I've focused on the chlorine in the pond, as I think that's more important than the Bakki shower at the moment. It always becomes a argument on social groups, etc. But all I'm going to say is chlorine is not good for fish. How you deal with it, how you treat it is totally up to you, but this is how I get rid of the chlorine and any remnants of any other impurities in the water ready for the fish. If you've got any questions regarding anything on the Dechlorinator, the VYAIR 3-stage unit, the cartridges, or even the pond in general, please write them in the comments below. From an absolute gorgeous day in Chesterfield, happy ponding.